Hi everyone, and welcome once again to TDL Live. It's Monday night. You're here. You can hear us. We're very excited about that.
We are.
Technical issues behind the scenes, but they've cleared themselves up. I'm Ryan Ritchie. Adam Ford with us this evening, as always. Over there in the, what is it over there? Where do you sit? Co-captain seat?
Sure. That sounds fine. Let's go with that.
Because I'm sorry, I have Star Trek.
They're not sitting.
You're standing. I mean, where you're situated.
I don't know. I guess we call it the on-deck circle?
I have Star Trek on the brain. I don't know if you heard about this. The SpaceX rocket exploded. SpaceX trying to do the private commercialization of space. Went up. This is the third one in a row now that's gone up and exploded. And sadly,
SpaceX, is that Mr. Branson?
That's it's Mr. Musk of PayPal fame.
Okay.
But this is the third one up and third one to have an anomaly.
They're consistent.
And the Star Trek tie-in is it was carrying the ashes of James Doohan, who we know as Scotty. Is that right, Scotty? Is that right, Mac Girl? Okay, well, I'm sure.
We are always factually correct.
I'm sure the Star Trek folks will let us know.
Always factually correct.
I can't do it, Captain. It's that guy. If that's Scotty, that is Scotty. Oh my God, we've lost all of our cred with the Star Trek. As a kid, I watched all those shows late at night on the weekend. I didn't go out because nobody liked me, and I would watch the Star Treks on public television, and then Star Hustler. But hey. Here on TDL Live, we talk about Apple stuff, so maybe we should...
That's probably a good idea.
Start down that path. Don't forget, you can join us. You can send an AOL Instant Message or iChat to TDL Live.
Why don't we
let the folks know we're live?
Yeah, let the folks know about that.
There we go. Boom.
Bingo.
Just like
That's
that.
how we do it. Drop it on them. I'm going.
All right, hold on. Before you, for the new viewers, I just want to explain what we do here.
Okay.
Each week, Apple news and rumors. We take the big stories of the week, and we put them into this fishbowl. And then we pull the stories in a random order. Adam has not pre-read the stories.
Nope, they're new to me.
And I have pre-read a few. And so then we pass on our reading of the story to you live here on the air. With that,
sometimes we've read them.
We've read them sometimes. It makes it more dramatic.
It does. This one's got some weight to it.
Oh boy.
We should get a scale.
Yeah, that'll eat up another 5 minutes each. That's great.
To determine the weight of the story.
Well, you tell me if it's a heavy story.
See this one I've read. Foxconn building 800,000 iPhones a week, kids. According to some folks over at the Tech Crunch. It's not a cereal, although it could be.
No, it couldn't, because of the reduction of hazardous substances laws. A lot of technology. If you eat it, it's not good for you. Can't be a cereal.
TechCrunch, call me up. We'll work on the cereal plan. So basically, iPhone 3G has ramped up production to allegedly 800,000 units per week, says a source close to Apple with direct knowledge of the numbers. And this is above current full capacity.
That's a lot of units.
That's a lot of units. Obviously, some concerns about quality control. I don't buy it.
I have quality control with my unit. And frankly, 800,000, that's hard for me to imagine. But anyhow,
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it. Now, why don't you buy it? That would equal about 40 million phones a year.
It's far too many phones. It's far too many
How can you have too many phones? You got people checking availability. They want to get the phones. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not saying that there's no demand for it.
Okay.
There's plenty of demand for it. We know that it's going to more countries. It's too many phones. You couldn't. I mean, how could you in a week? And then they're not going to sit over there. They're not going to sit in Taiwan just hanging out because we know they don't sell them online, so it's not direct.
If they are sitting, I hope each iPhone has a little mask so it doesn't get any pollution.
Well, no, they're vacuum sealed.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted to upset another demographic.
That's perfect. We're very good at doing that. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's right. They never have that many weeks of inventory on hand.
Okay.
They don't sell 800,000 in a week.
But they sold 1 million the first weekend. And so if you think a little bit of drop off, and they're continuing maybe 700,000 to 800,000 a week, and they've got new locations, I think they need that many.
I don't.
What?
I don't think so.
What do you think? TDL Live. Oh my goodness.
I hope that they do.
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, I suppose. But at any rate, I think 800,000 is an acceptable number. Put this little number in your noggin, sir.
I'll put it in.
Last year, the folks at Nokia, or Nokia, depending on who you talk to, they sold 435 million
Believe it.
phones.
Yeah, I believe it.
And you don't think Apple can crank out 40 million and sell them?
Didn't think that they couldn't do it. Just don't think that they are. That's all I'm saying about it.
Apple will crank out as many as they can sell, and they can sell 40 million. You heard it here. I'm going to the bull.
Go to the bull.
I always like to shake them up.
You do. They don't really move much. They kind of just jiggle around.
Okay. By the way, in one testing group, it was suggested that we change the color. If there were multiple color entries, then we'd be able to see the shaking action better.
Oh.
Make for a more dramatic presentation for the home audience.
We can put crayons in there too while we're at it. That's more colorful.
Well, that's just silly.
It's not. It's crayons.
So this one, I'm gonna
Crowns, depending on where you live.
I'm gonna turn over to you because I know you. This is a holdover. This is a leftover. We went in the fridge, unwrapped the aluminum foil from last week's show, and found this. Google has added secure session options to Gmail.
Yes.
Now I know you've tinkered with this, or you at least read about it a little bit.
I tinkered with it a little bit. If you go into your settings, and I've noticed that not all accounts have this. Some do and some don't. So I guess it's kind of one of those we're rolling it out sort of things, which they're pretty good at. So hopefully you all have this option. Basically, you can turn on a secure. So basically, your URL becomes HTTPS for secure. And it's not like gmail.com, it's like mail.google.com or something like that. But you can now have a secure session for your email, which for some people is important. Some people are like, I don't care if people know about my fantasy football league. So some people don't care about this.
I just said football league. I didn't know what.
Hey now, come on.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Stick with it.
Totally inappropriate. Go ahead.
Anyway. So you just go over to the settings tab when you're logged into your Gmail, and I think it's the first tab there at the bottom. You'll have the option to. It's set to nothing. It's like none of the radio buttons are checked. You can like always use it, always not use it. But they're like, be careful, it'll slow down your connection. So you better have that broadband. Those of you on dial-up might not want to be doing this.
How many people do you think use Gmail on broadband or on dial-up? Do you use Gmail on dial-up? Let us know. TDL Live.
Do you have dial-up?
And by the way,
are you watching us on dial-up right now?
That would be amazing.
That would be sweet.
By the way, don't forget, if you're not watching live, because a lot of people watch the show on the podcast after the fact, you can also send in your comments to feedback@thedigital-lifestyle.tv.
You can do that.
We're taking a moment to take it all in.
Well, we have some participation going on.
Some folks in the chat are saying it shows our status is away, but we are here.
We're here. We are here.
It says live, so I'm not sure what's going on there. It's time to poll, and it's you. And while you do that, I want to issue a retraction from last week. You may recall I heavily hyped the HannahMontanaCalls.com, and it turns out the folks that I tried to prank with that did not receive the calls. So apparently the site is not yet operational. So I do want to apologize. Okay. Now that's
I was wondering why I didn't get a call.
Now that's speaking of Hannah Montana.
iTunes movies, Pixar, bolster Disney bottom line.
The point is, here at the bottom.
Here you go.
No, the bottom is at the here.
That's it?
Sell 5 million.
Sell 5 million movies through iTunes.
Who did?
Disney. Pixar.
That's a lot of movies.
That's a lot of movies. 5 million of them.
You know what I heard? I heard some viewers have a drinking game that's based upon us saying that's a lotta, followed by something, because apparently we do that a lot on this show.
It's a lotta.
That's a lot of movies.
Well, it's an ambiguous term for a large quantity of something.
I think people understand what it means. I don't think they're confused by the definition.
Well, then what?
I just think they feel it lacks
I hope they're getting
analysis and insight.
They're getting hammered on their milk and cookies.
Mixed signals. You're sending the kids mixed signals.
I'm sending mixed signals?
Yes, to the kids. All right.
They'll get over it.
Oh my goodness. Dell attempts to trademark iPod. No. Dell attempts to trademark cloud computing.
They do. They're attempting to do this. And I'm gonna tease it because our legal correspondent might want to jump all over this, but so
celebrating a birthday, by the way. Happy birthday to
Yes,
our
indeed.
anonymous legal correspondent.
Yes, indeed. So they submitted this, I believe, in 2007. I want to say Dell submitted their trademark application for cloud computing, and there's different phases that this whole thing goes through, and to not bore everybody to death. They're basically at the point where it's pretty much they're going to get it, but they're probably going to have a problem defending it. That's kind of where that stands. I don't know what Dell's using with cloud computing. We haven't seen anything. That's going to be
and a related Dell
in the cloud.
A related Dell story that was on the blog this week. Dell re-entering the MP3 player game.
Yeah, because once wasn't enough.
The Dell DJ, and as I mentioned in the blog, it used to be fun. I know when I worked at the Apple Store, there was a Dell kiosk in the other part of the mall.
Pretty funny.
And go down and pretend to be excited about the Dell DJ, and then the people from the kiosk would come into the store and buy iPods.
That was a different time.
Those were the days. But Dell now trying to go back, and they're going to do these MP3 players. Plus, I understand, integrated music store and media store, I should say.
Oh.
What a
All right.
crazy idea.
Yeah, I've heard that may have been done before.
I wish them well with that.
I do too.
Can't they just get Dell branded Zunes and be done with it? Like the old HP iPods?
Right.
Who's up?
Me. I'm up.
I think we should add someone who just pulls these out of the bowl.
We've talked about that.
Let's think about that.
Okay.
Maybe someone out there would like to volunteer.
Apple to announce iPhone Nano in UK.
Question mark.
Question
Big,
mark.
bold question mark.
Absolutely. New iPhone Nano in the what? A new iPhone Nano is in the works and will be available to customers in time for Christmas 2008,
Says
according to the Daily Mail.
Of the
Daily Mail
of the UK in the
UK up to 150 pounds. That's
Bring a friend. Each grab an end.
Yeah.
Lift with the knees. 150 pounds. I wouldn't
Friend.
call that a nano. So anyhow, a couple of things here. First of all, one, Apple's not going to launch a product in the UK.
no,
It's not going to happen.
not going to happen.
Not even if it was iFish and chips.
Yeah,
They would still have it available around the globe or in the US first.
It would be in the US first.
Secondly, I was big on the Nano phone back in the day. That was my big rumor I used to always stick with. Oh, there's going to be a Nano phone. But given that the regular iPhone is now $199, I don't see how you would do a Nano. When that phone was $600, okay, maybe there's a $200 Nano phone.
Right.
But sorry,
Yeah,
UK.
It just doesn't make sense.
I think the Daily Mail might be wrong on this.
No, they're just trying to stir the pot, whack the bee's nest, which we don't recommend. But
Never heard that phrase before.
it might be original. Might be an original.
Whack the bee's nest. Okay. Everything sounds more questionable when I say it for some reason. I just repeat it. Apple Nexus Security Engineering Talk. So next week is the old Black Hat Security Conference.
Should have brought my black hat with me.
This is one of the big security conferences each year. Apple has never attended. They've never done any kind of presentation.
Pish posh. They
Because,
say.
get this, apparently Apple's a little secretive
No.
about security. And so, but this year, Apple was set to give an engineering talk about security and Mac OS X and how it all works. And then, according to Macworld, the folks in Apple marketing got a hold of this plan, and they're like, "You're going to do what?"
Yeah, definitely. They pulled the plug on that.
They put the engineers back in the cave.
Yeah.
They herded them up. Like, they put their arms out. Did you know you should do that, by the way? I
Yeah.
learned this. If there's an emu that's chasing you, if you put your arms out, as long as you're bigger than it, you can hurt it.
I've never been in that situation, but I will try to remember that.
I was once, actually.
I will try to remember that.
But, so I think that's what they did. They made them all go back into the cave, go work on Snow Leopard. Don't be out
Right.
talking about security and how we keep, or don't keep the OS secure, as the case may be. So it says the panel would have been a highlight of the show, giving attendees an insider look at Apple's security response team.
So now they'll have to listen to some other folks.
Oh, it's not another Linux lecture. Whew. There goes the Ubuntu audience.
Gone.
Gone.
Our iPhone 3G is developing cracks. Now, I'd love to hear from iPhone owners who have had the iPhone for a little while now. Is your iPhone, is the plastic case developing cracks? We'd like to know. Let us know. So, in what appears to be an increasingly common problem, hairline cracks are beginning to form on Apple's new iPhone 3G. Most of the cracks are reportedly affecting the white model. This is likely due to the increased visibility of the dark fracture in the white case as opposed to any difference in materials. At the moment, the issue seems largely cosmetic and doesn't appear to interfere with the operation of the phone. So, I think we've seen some photos of it, real thin hairline cracks. I don't know how rampant they are. I mean, it just seems like there's reports of it, but I mean, there's reports of and people doing silly things too. So.
It certainly isn't the first time that cracks have appeared on Apple plastic products, polycarbonate products. In the past, the old G4 Cube back in the day, and there were also cosmetic issues. This week on Root Access, Jamie was talking about the old PowerBook paint chipping issue, paint peeling issue. You remember that? Was that before your time?
Titanium, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Titanium's had an issue.
It was not before mine.
So they're not without cosmetic issues, and maybe this is another one. We'll see. I believe at this point Apple has acknowledged this issue, so we'll see going forward. Now that goes back to your story earlier about 800,000 phones a week. You crank out that many phones, I don't know, maybe quality control would start to take a little bit of a nosedive.
I'm gonna go with user error.
User error?
On this.
Oh, yeah. I accidentally...
I sat on my phone. Oh. Well, maybe you shouldn't have.
Maybe you should buy a case.
Maybe you should be more careful.
But it's so svelte.
Well, yes.
Just sit on it. So when it comes to crack, remember the old saying, crack is unfortunate. So let's go into the bowl.
I go with whack.
No.
It's not?
No, crack is unfortunate. That's how it goes.
Okay.
I think it's my turn to pull.
It is.
Crack is unfortunate. Where does he get them? All right. Refreshes.
They're coming.
Why do we think they're coming?
Because people have said it, and it must be true. Therefore, it must be true. Well, we think it because there are alleged stories of resellers having to get their orders in early, so to basically stock up on weeks of inventory, which they don't really do. I mean, no retailer wants to be sitting on a month's worth of inventory, like in your store. So they've supposedly had to put their orders in, which could mean that the channel, they're trying to dry up the channel before refreshes are let out of the pen.
Is this from your time at Apple? Is this I don't recall Apple giving out this kind of notice before.
Yeah, which is why I think it's alleged. I mean,
well, the bottom line is that there are products that are due for a refresh. We're sitting at a year now on the Mac Mini without anything happening to it. Maybe it's going to disappear. I don't know. That's another thing that's floating around out there.
Has it been a year?
Yeah, it has. It has. I believe we're at 367 days or so.
Wow.
I will check and get back to you on that. I'll call you tonight. I'll be like, hey, I figured that out.
Let me go grab that number somewhere here.
I can get the actual number. Do you want the show to come grinding to a halt while I look it up?
Nobody wants that to happen.
We want to start grinding to a halt. I mean, but anyhow, the refreshes are due, and again, to hype Root Access again, we were talking about the fact that there really haven't been any major design changes in the MacBook Pro, for example, in a long time.
Major, yeah.
MacBooks even are kind of just in a white iBook with a black option. A little different, but the same general concept. It's been a while since there's been a big change, like, say, the clamshell iBook to the white iBook.
But, I mean, they're not really talking about, they're talking about a refresh, which isn't really...
we have a product transition this quarter, let's not forget. That's what my friend Pete Oppenheimer said. Well, I can call him Pete. I don't know if you knew that. Pete Ops, we call him.
Okay.
Over at Apple when I go visit. Did I pull that, Matt Girl? I pulled that? Yes?
Okay.
Yeah, apparently I did.
Okay. Well, I'm going.
All right.
Here we go.
You didn't shake it. I hope that...
No, I lock and loaded right on
when you
this
don't
one.
shake,
I don't know what it is,
when you don't shake, all the good stories settle to the bottom.
Time issue?
Time issue. Not an issue of time.
This is kind of funny.
It's all you.
Well, it was funny, a little bit concerning. So last week, my first generation, which is what I'm going to call it now, my first generation iPhone, I went to look at it, and I happened to look at the time, and I'm like, oh, what? I could have sworn it wasn't this late. And I look at my other clock, and my other clock says that it's about 12 minutes earlier. And I'm like, well, what the heck? And then I go over to my MacBook, and it says that it's 12 minutes earlier. So my phone, which everybody knows that your phone keeps time with some server somewhere, because when you get let's say you're flying somewhere, you get to your local destination, you turn on your phone, it automatically tells you what time it is. So it keeps time for itself based on a network connection, which of course I had, and it was 12 minutes fast. So I figure I'm going to sync the thing, and that'll take care of it. No, not really. So you go through you wait 45 minutes while the phone backs up.
Come on.
And then it syncs. I'm not exaggerating, folks. And then it syncs, and then it's still wrong. So I decided to go ahead and reset it, and then it took the signal and adjusted itself. But I don't think I've ever had a cell phone keep the wrong time. It's very weird.
I had a new symbol appear on my screen. I should put that in the blog so people can see it.
You did.
On the edge, the edge E became a square with a dot in it. I don't know what that means.
That's the self-destruct sequence was activated.
Maybe it's pay as you go or something. Maybe I got
yeah, pay as you go.
downgraded. So did you think you went throrough some sort of time-space continuum?
I don't know. I was happy that it was wrong, because I didn't want to lose 12 minutes out of my life. So
sure.
Very valuable.
Oh, I pulled, didn't I?
No. Oh, this is me, time machine.
Sorry. We'd love to have a sponsor for a little arrow on the screen that would show whose turn it is to do it.
We could do that, or we could
put an arrow on here and kind of turn it. Kind of like those clean and dirty magnets on dishwashers. You ever see those?
No.
Okay.
It's usually dirty at my house.
So you had mentioned the long sync period.
Yes.
But there might be some help on the way.
That's what I hear. Tell me about it.
Well, just about an hour and a half ago, iTunes iPhone software.
Right.
2.0.1.
Correct.
The first update is...
Which would make me correct for those of you keeping score at home. Tally 1 on Adam's side for the 2.0.1,
I said 2.1. Right.
I'm done, folks.
You segue back over here. You have to lean. Anyhow, 2.0.1, the early reports are that the backup and the syncing is quicker, but I don't know exactly how much quicker. We've been prepping for the show, so we haven't had a chance to give it a shot yet. But if you haven't seen it yet, if you run the software update, you'll see the 2.0.1.
And just like any update, you're going to want to have broadband. We hear it's a bit of a bulky one.
Over 200 megs.
Over 200 megs. It's juicy.
Sounds like rewritten software to me, but yeah. It's all you.
Recommended for?
All users.
All users.
And addresses bug fixes.
Bug fixes for all users. This one is like, I'm telling you, read the scale. Apple extends AT&T exclusivity to 2010. All you Verizon customers out there, you're just going to have to wait another year.
Even if you had T-Mobile, which uses the same signal, and you're like, my contract's up in another year, I'll just stay with T-Mobile, then anybody can get an iPhone.
Gonna want to hang out a little longer. So yeah, that's basically the story. AT&T and Apple's partnership extends another year of exclusivity to 2010. And I guess it could be longer. I mean,
Well, this could just be an ongoing issue.
It could be, yeah.
Because it's essentially that it got extended with the new phone and the fact that it's subsidized. So one would think as long as Apple is happy with the partnership, they keep cranking out new phones, they'll keep going back to AT&T as long as they feel that's not hurting overall income.
Yeah.
So you might as well, you're going to have to suck it up and go with AT&T.
Just make the switch already.
And here's a dirty little secret. I know there are different pockets where maybe one cell phone carrier is better than another. At the end of the day, they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I did have Verizon before AT&T, and I had good signal experience.
More bars and more places.
More bars
and AT&T. By the way, someone in our chat room checking in that they indeed have the clean and dirty dishwasher magnet. Thank you. I'm not just making this up.
Did they?
Yes, they did. I'm not just... Yes. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Dangerously close to the bottom of the bowl. I'm dangerously close to... okay, well, I'm going to do an impression for you here. This is your favorite iTunes application.
David Blaine it.
iTunes application. Oh, it's gone. You like the iPint?
You mind freak you.
It's gone.
It's a different show.
You enjoy the box office application? It's gone. But oh wait, NetShare to allow you to tether your phone. It's back.
In my ear.
It's back.
It's in my ear. All these apps are actually in my ear.
Oh, now it's gone again.
Back in my ear.
So the point here is that Apple now is
shoving applications in my ear.
making applications disappear from the App Store frequently without any explanation, and it's frustrating.
Well, yeah, but they don't have to.
But they have to because
no, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They don't.
Yes, they do. Because here's an example. Box Office is there.
Yeah.
Box Office disappears.
I like the box.
And by the way, check out the blog if you want to know more about this. But I, as a consumer, should know why it's gone. What if it's gone because there were security concerns? Shouldn't I know? Shouldn't Apple say this app has been removed due to security concerns, or it's been removed due to violation of the terms of the app? Something. It just disappears, and with that goes the links to support and the website of the creator.
Yeah, well, do we know that doesn't exist in somehow the support forums? Have we checked that? Not the forums, but the support section?
What support section?
Apple.com/support?
No. We went into iTunes, where the app used to be.
But have we verified that information does not somehow exist elsewhere?
We have not.
We will.
But we have anecdotal evidence from the people who made the app saying, we don't know why it's gone.
Okay, well then there you go. I imagine that they would be notified.
You would think so.
I imagine that they would.
So you have NetShare. We should talk about this a little bit. NetShare was this application that popped up in the store, surprised a lot of people because essentially what it lets you do is use your iPhone, 3G or otherwise, to tether to your computer so that your computer can use your cell connection for data. What a wonderful concept.
It's pretty sweet.
And it's a concept that AT&T will let you do with their own card for about $60 a month. So here was this app for $10 to let you do this.
Bargain.
Bargain. However, kind of maybe violates your AT&T terms if you use it, so the app disappears. Okay, fair enough. The app disappeared. Somehow this one slipped through the cracks. Apple, was asleep at the wheel. But then it comes back. The app comes back, and I buy it, and then it disappears again.
Get them while they're hot.
It disappears more than Copperfield. It disappears more than the Statue of Liberty when Copperfield has a sheet. It's gone. One more in the bowl, sir. Why don't you do the lecture?
I'm going to do it. It's a juicy one. It's a big juicy one here. Oh my.
May I work on the zingers before we go live in the future? I think you're going to need some...
This is our green episode, folks.
You're going to need a little extra support here on this one.
Yeah, so basically we're going to drop down the top 10 for you. Top 10 free apps. We're just going to run them down.
Let's start with 10, though.
We're going to start with 10?
Yeah, why don't you do evens? I'll do odds.
Okay, we'll try to keep that straight. We're not good with numbers, though. Number 10, remote. Allows you to remote control your iTunes from your phone.
That's the Apple.
From Apple, yep.
Number 9 is Facebook, which essentially doesn't do anything that going to Facebook on the phone did, except it's a little slower.
Number 8, Phone Saver. It's a big hit. Turns your phone into a real lightsaber, and you can battle evil.
Up next is the Sudoku. I know you're a big fan. You've tried the number 7.
Sudoku free?
Yeah. You give it a thumbs up?
Gives you 1 through 9 a capability.
Number 6 is... Oh, sorry. Wait, okay. Number 6.
I explained it because you didn't.
Okay.
Pandora Radio, which I personally love, works over Edge. Amazing. Has to work over 3G then. And it's fantastic.
I'm going to time you out there for a second. I found lately it's been cutting out over Edge for me, even with full strength.
I don't use it a lot over Edge, but when I did use it, it was really testing scenarios.
And
it worked.
Well, I was in a real life situation.
So I don't believe it.
Okay. Number 5 is Peg Jump. That's the game for any of you who have ever been at a Cracker Barrel or a Denny's and you don't know, you need to pass the time and, what's this wooden board with pegs? Well, now you can play that on your phone.
Except no pancakes. And
nope, it doesn't come with any pancakes.
Peg Jump is...
By the way, Peg
Maddening.
Jump did a review of it. That'll be up in the blog soon and in the loop. Okay.
Dizzy Bee free. It's free. It's Dizzy Bee.
There's a review of that as well. Number 3 is Apache Lander. Imagine, if you will, a helicopter. It's about this big. You have to land it on a helipad about that big. And the controls on the phone are backwards of what you would think they'd be.
Sweet.
Okay.
Labyrinth Light Edition.
What number is that?
Dose. That's 2 for all you English speakers.
And the number 1 top free app, which I have not. Have you?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
Gonna have to.
Eclectic tastes, I guess. That's Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker comes in at number 1. Let's hear it for the top free apps.
All right.
And with that, we bid you a fond farewell. Another edition of TDL Live comes to the end. Don't forget, in the blog, we talk about this stuff more. Yes, the show notes will be in the forums. Check that out. Continue the discussion with each other on the forums, and include us too. We can be included, right?
We can.
We'd love to do that. And we'll do it again next week. Yes, no? What do you think?
I think we should. I think we probably should. The folks demand it.
Crack is unfortunate, and we'll see you then.
Alrighty.
Well, bye, everybody.